Salutations, everyone. I'm Riley Arlick, and I'm going to try to not be in teacher mode today. I've got my soothing music on. I've got my Clip Studio Paint set up, my tablet ready to go. And we're going to draw some magic items. You can see I've got a little template here that I threw together real quick, just using some stock images, a stock texture of parchment, stock frame here where we're actually going to be drawing the magic items. So let's just throw together a quick thing here. Let's see. Magic item name. Okay. Yeah, something like that. And then we can just have this there. Or something. Yeah, maybe like right there, kind of off to the side. And then we'll just make a simple what text do I want to use here? This Cambria. This will be the item stats, right? That way we have a nice template. Okay. So, my goal here is to do at least 2, maybe 3, 4 if we can swing it. 4 little items, little things, little sketches with a little bit of color in them that you can use for Dungeons and Dragons. I think that'll be great. I've got my tea. I have given my chest plate a nice warming enchantment. And my tablet is not plugged in. Uh-oh. Where is it? My bad. There we go. That should do it. Welcome, Obsidian Bubble. Thanks for joining me here. There we go. Now it's working. Just, whoa. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to pull up a random item generator that I use for my D&D campaigns. Let's see, where is it? Magic item generator. And we're gonna take an example from this, and we're gonna draw one of these, and then I'll copy the stats over, and I'll put the link of this item generator in the comments and the description when I'm done, so you guys can use it as well. So, right off the bat, we have the Bold Cap, which has 1d4 unreplenishable charges of the Heroism spell, or the Half Plate of Druidcraft, which allows you to cast Druidcraft once per day, or the Source Purge Pike of Truth. Constructs and undead are vulnerable to the damage dealt by this weapon. The bearer has advantage on investigation checks to see through illusions. In addition, the bearer can gain advantage on an insight check to check if someone is lying, and disadvantage on all deception checks. That's a little bit clunkily written, but you get that sometimes. You get that sometimes. I'm trying to position all my windows so that I can see chat and see the the items that we're generating all relatively easily. Welcome, Swift James. Thanks for joining us. Let's try to make this bold cap. Contains 1d4 unreplenishable charges of the heroism spell. So it's a common item. You can't recharge it, but you get the heroism spell. And let me look up what that does. Heroism D&D 5e. Heroism. A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to be frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each of its turns. When the spell ends, the target loses any remaining temporary hit points from the spell. And it lasts for up to a minute, and you have to use your concentration for it. So could be useful, especially if you're not a druid or paladin, like if you're a fighter. This could be super useful. And it's only first level, so it's not super overpowered. Let's see. Let's draw this this bold cap. So first we'll put in the name. Bold cap. Common. It's a common item. And then we'll just copy and paste these stats in here. Oh, that's not what I want. Item stats. Ooh. That's there we go. Yeah, so it's random magic items. I'm going to start by making one from a website that generates random magical items. And then I'm going to try to make some of my own. So this is, like, think of this as like a warm-up. Also, welcome, Persephone. Thanks for being here. So let's see if we can draw whatever this bold cap would look like. I think that's going to be the challenge here. Is what does a bold cap look like? I imagine something that is like a half helmet. Maybe with Viking horns. Yeah, like a half helmet with Viking horns. Yeah. Okay, I have an idea. Untenable ram horns. All right, let's see here. I'm using a little reference here to get this shape in. So it kind of comes around like this. And this. And then there's kind of a back part that comes down like this. We're going to start with this kind of shape. And then it kind of actually has a little bit of a lip at the end. This is the power of references, folks. Use them. I'm going to add some more details to this as we go, but hey, I already have a... whoa, that's a humongous eraser. I use Clip Studio Paint to make all my thumbnails, and sometimes, you know, I have to slap them together really quickly. So I use really big brushes to just have big, broad effects. So we're going to start with this sort of shape. I hope this is visible. Let me know if you guys have any trouble with the sound or the image. I appreciate any input. So yeah, something like this. A cap. So this is like a half helmet. So like the rest of the head would come down this way, right? So this is only a half helmet. Thanks, Obsidian Bubble. I appreciate it. Okay. Bold cap. Bold cap. So we need horns, right? We gotta have horns. So... some big old... I think about, you know, bold, like a big cow. Big bull. Big bull horns like this. You have big horns like this, you're pretty bold. Right? You've got to be pretty bold to wear big horns like this. Especially to a fight. Yeah. Add a little bit of a ring here, a little detail, maybe some rivets to really hold those horns in place. Like that. And then eye slits, I guess? I suppose you need to see through this thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, just don't wear these in a China shop. Yeah, so unrenewable. So once the 1d4 unreplenishable charges of the heroism spell. So that's what makes this a common magic item. Somebody stored a couple of spells in this, and didn't think it would you know, last very long. Put a rivet there. This comes down this way. And then this is kind of the back edge of it. And then the example, the reference that I have has like an eye slit that just goes all the way across like this, like just a big old rectangle. But I'm thinking we're going to do a little bit more than just that. I think maybe if we kind of slice it in the center there, you might have a little blind spot right in the middle, but that's okay. And I will be uploading all of these to my Twitter account. So if you want to see these when they're done, be sure to follow me over there. And you'll get magic items that you can use. No questions asked. When it runs out of magic, the horns fall off. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. And then it still acts as a heavy piece of heavy armor, I suppose. Because it's a metal, or maybe medium. I suppose this could be medium. Since it's only half the helmet. Just clean in this sketch up, though really I probably could just go ahead and move on to the... Well, I want to keep these kind of sketchy, actually. That way we can make more of them. And it'll keep this kind of like, oh, this has been like illustrated on parchment. Leave a little bit of room for imagination or customization. So I don't actually want them to be too clean. But I want the shapes to be clear. I definitely want the shapes to be clear. Okay. Let's clean this up over here. Clean up these rivets, I think, a little bit. Make this actually look like it's holding the horn rather than... There we go. Yeah. Doing these little tiny rings and things can be a little bit of a pain. Gotta have them look somewhat realistic without over detailing them. There we go. And then we'll add those rivets back in. They could be gems, they could be screws, they could be whatever you want. Okay. Let's slap some color on this bad boy. What color do we think? I mean, it's bold, right? So probably like a shiny brass. Yeah. Not quite gold. Not quite gold. I think gold as a color would make a ton of sense, but... let's bring that down just a little bit. We'll start with this. Okay. See, we're just keeping those sketchy lines. In fact, an easy way to make sketch lines darker is just duplicate the sketch layer. Like that. That already stands out a lot better. Just trying to keep some of these lines clean here. There we go. Okay. What color should the horns be? Should they be like a black or tan? Or silver? Actually, that needs to be darker. There we go. Blood red horns. That would be pretty, that'd be pretty bold. That'd be pretty bold. There we go. That took longer than it should have. Let's try blood red, and maybe we can tweak them a little bit as we go. Don't know color theory. I don't either. It's fine. It's totally fine. I think just looking at that though, that's gonna be a little bit too much. Let's go with like a tan color, maybe? Yeah. like a bone sort of color. And then maybe we can throw in some iron, silver, something along some of the parts. I think that'll be good. You might be wondering why I'm not using the bucket tool, and the answer is because I don't feel like it. Sometimes it's fun just to color in the lines. Ugh, I want to do a singing stream so badly. But I'm not actually good at singing. I just like to sing sometimes. I guess I should start just by practicing some songs. Make sure I get all the lyrics right. Okay. So then, what we need is like this. No, that's not quite right. Let's get like a darker. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. That's what we want. This will help break up the orange here. Then we'll go in and maybe add some highlights. I feel like the face... No, the back should be different. Yeah. Okay, watch this. No. Yes. We'll make the back a little darker. That'll help. That way you're wearing this and you have this big, bright, brassy faceplate staring your opponent down. But you don't care because you're a hero. You're wearing the bold cap, or at least one of them. I imagine there might be a couple of them. Maybe a wizard is mass producing them. Or some other sort of enchanter. There we go. Just come back and clean some of this up. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? Let's just add a little bit of highlight. Like if we take this effect line, we can add some shine to it. Like that, and that. And then we can add some shine back here. And some shine on the horns. You got to make sure that your horns are shiny, right? There we go. And then over here, just a little bit. Yeah. There we go. The bold cap. And then what we can add here is when the last charge is spent, the horns fall off. Yeah! Bold cap. You'd have to be pretty bold to wear this. Let me just add a little bit. I'm just going to do a quick multiply effect here. That. Oh, that is a... that is a kneaded eraser. That's why. Though that texture was actually kind of cool. Hold on. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. That's really cool. Let me go a little overboard with the highlight, and then I can go back with this textured eraser, and that'll add some kind of sketchy texture to this image. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay. Bold cap. Let's save that one as a pung in my art folder here. Bold. MI for magic item. Bold cap. There we go. And then we can, I believe, if I merge these layers here, and I just retitle this bold cap, I can hide that, and then we can start a new one. It's that easy, my friends. It's that easy. One down, and it only took half an hour? Wow. Not even. That's great. That's really fantastic. Okay, so we have now an image for the bold cap. Let's do another random one. Ooh, this might be good. Okay, so I just did another random roll on this website. We have the Glacial Dagger. Anytime you deal cold damage, the amount of cold damage dealt is increased by 1d8. So, what are some ice spells? Oh, Ice Knife would be one. Frostbite, Ray of Frost. Chromatic Orb actually would do ice damage as well. Yeah, okay. There's also the Elysian Splint Armor. When on the plane of Elysium, the bearer has advantage on saving throws against the effects of overwhelming joy. That's kind of interesting. And the Ryutal Amulet, it might be the Ritual Amulet, but I'm not sure. Whenever the bear casts a spell as a ritual, yeah, Ritual Amulet. But they have a typo in their system. Whenever the bearer casts a spell as a ritual, they have advantage to maintain concentration during the ritual. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Let's do the Glacial Dagger. Let's do the Glacial Dagger. So it says that this is an epic item, but the effect doesn't feel epic, so we're going to call it a rare. Glacial Dagger rare. And the... So anytime you deal cold damage... Anytime you deal cold damage, the amount of cold damage dealt is increased by plus 1d8. Let's sketch out a Glacial Dagger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up dagger and a glacier. 1d8 or 2d4? We'll do the 1d8. 2d4 is like really reliable damage. But 1d8 has that little bit of extra randomness. Now what I need is an image of an iceberg. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, I've got some good inspiration for this one. Okay. Ooh, that one's nice. Okay, yeah, alright. Yeah, what are the magic item rarities? Maybe I should look that up real quick. Magic item rarities. There are 6 different magic item rarities. From most to least available. So there's common, uncommon, rare, very rare, legendary, and artifact. So there's not actually epic. So this random generator that I'm using might be a little bit dated. But common, like the bold cap, that was like 50 to 100 gold, right? So that makes sense. So the bold cap, this one, you know, you could, if you found a decent wizard that wanted to sell his services, then, you know, pay 50, maybe 75 gold if they're being stingy, and you could get this bold cap for some extra spells of heroism. For this one, because it's a constant effect and it's a permanent effect, what I imagine it would be at least rare. So we're talking about 500 to 2,000 gold. That seems more appropriate for this sort of thing. I could imagine like a bad guy having this to help boost their spell power, because it doesn't even say that it does cold damage, but it boosts cold damage that you do. So it's interesting. So that doesn't say epic to me, but it does say rare. So once again, we are going to pull up our references and get our sketching pencil here. We're going to draw a glacial dagger. I'm actually going to flip the page here to make this easier on myself. I found this design that looks kind of cool. It kind of has a this narrow pommel, or this interesting shaped pommel with a little knob there like a bell. Don't be afraid to use references. Let's draw, actually, a good way to keep some of this stuff, like especially weapons, straight, is you start by just making a straight line. So we want it to go that way. So actually, hold on. That way it really properly fills the frame here. So we want that like that. Then we can use that line as a guideline. So that, and then it has this really neat guard. I like this shape a lot. It kind of looks like a crown. So like this whole thing actually looks kind of like a chess piece almost. Yeah, like that. Yeah. And then the actual dagger part itself is probably not going to look very much like an actual steel dagger. I think this is the part where it's going to get a little bit more interesting. Because I'm going to try to emulate an actual glacier that's coming out of the pommel here. This is going to be an ice dagger. So it's going to have some parts that jut out, or the glacial dagger, Some parts that jut out and kind of create these almost natural geometric shapes. Maybe the point isn't too sharp actually. Maybe kind of rounded off like that. Yeah, look at that. Actually, we'll keep that line and kind of do one of these going up the center. And then we can kind of have a little bit more texture coming up. The length of it here. So this is definitely a weapon that, you know, a wizard uses to boost their spells, not that you would actually use in combat. So, you know, it's not going to be... I would even say instead of doing slashing damage or piercing damage, it would do bludgeoning damage. Maybe, instead of the normal dagger types. That'd be kind of cool, I think. Just adding a little bit more texture to really try to sell that, the fact that this is ice-themed. By the way, welcome, Jer. Thanks for being here. This is only the second item. We're actually, the first one went really quickly, and this one's probably going to go pretty quickly as well. So we might get a lot more than 4. Because I'm having fun with this. Oh, you know what? That's why. Because I switched from that to that. Okay. There we go. So yeah, it looks kind of lumpy. Kind of weird. Maybe I'll, let's clean up this side a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. Oh, my kitty has come to say hello at last. Hello, kitty. You want my attention? You want my attention? Is that what you want? Well, too bad. She's sitting here. Her front paws are propped up on my chair. Oh, now she's going for the behind the keyboard play here. Nope, I don't think that's gonna. Nope, get out of there. There we go. Yeah, it looks like raw rock at the moment, but then I'll add some color and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. I mean, the fact that it looks like rock is not a bad thing, because I mean, icebergs look like rocks. Giant floating rocks. Okay. So all right. There we go. Then we're going to add our color here, and we're going to start with the actual blade itself, and then we will go to the other parts. Now, what's interesting about icebergs and glaciers is that they actually have a little bit of teal in them. A really dark teal color. So we're going to start with that. Get our G pen in here. And then we'll brighten it up from here. So even though this looks really, really bad right off the bat, it's going to... Most of this is going to be a much brighter color. I just want to get this flat in first. There we go. It can have more spikes for every side to look more like ice. That's a good point. You know, I may add some like ice effects around it. Like some floating ice particles or something like that. I think that'd look really cool. To really sell the magical aspect of this thing. I also just like the dichotomy of the really normal-looking hilt or grip. I'm not actually up to date on my sword anatomy terms, so please forgive me if I get something wrong. But that it's like so normal and so clean, and then this blade is just going to be brimming. So let's start with that, and then we can start brightening it up. And the way we're going to do that is by taking a medium color. The grip of the whole thing. Yeah. So let's see, how can we do this? Yeah, like this. This will add some texture to it, which will be really nice. Okay. And then we're going to go for an even... And then we're going to start doing our really, really bright whites. So first we're going to do this. And you see now most of that dark color that we did is gone, and that's fine. And we really want it to be the brightest at the tip, I think. But we don't want to neglect some of these little sketchy shapes that we have at the bottom either. We can come back in with some of the darker colors. Yeah. That's looking good. And then we're going to go almost pure white as the last bit here. A little bit more sparingly, but not as much as you might think. So I definitely want this center bit to be white and the tip to be white. Yeah, like that. All right. Yeah, that... Does that look a little bit better? Hold on, it's going to get even... I'm hoping I can make it even better. We're going to use our effect line. We're going to make it real thin. And throw in some real dark spots. Maybe a little bit thicker. Oh, hold on. I'm going to do this little thing down here. There we go. And then a few just other colors kind of alongside those. We can even do something like this. And then bring these in like this. Yeah. And then we can blend them in just a little bit. There we go. Just playing around. I'm just playing around. That's all I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Yeah. That's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So now let's do the rest of it down here. Probably we could wrap it in just like some black leather kind of look. Something around this kind of... So this part would be black. And then we can make the top and the bottom of this, the guard and the pommel, we can make those silver. As well as kind of the little middle ring there. Would look nice if it had maybe a little more of that dark ice in the middle. Yeah, I might try to pull some dark ice like down here at the bottom in this area. So we'll come back to that in just a moment. And then Just a nice, cool silver here. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then this little bit here. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to this and add a little bit more of that dark ice in, I think. Something... Even if we just do a little bit of... Yeah! Oh, look at that. Let's, hold on. Just that? Just doing something like that really helps. I accidentally... There we go. Let's also flip it. There we go. And then let's just do a little bit of detail on this. Oops. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, good. So what we need is a multiply layer. There we go. And then we can just throw on a quick shade and then a quick erase. Oops. Needed eraser. There we go. What's going on here? Edit, redo. There we go. Needed eraser. Like that, and then we can go in with a quick little highlight. I keep getting the wrong... There we go. And then we can kind of add a little little texture to the leather here, maybe. Like that. Yeah. Now let's really try to sell that magical effect, and what we can do is have some like floating ice particles, like ice spikes or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. We're gonna take this, we're gonna take this, we're gonna take this, and we're gonna make a let's merge these layers. There we go, and then we're gonna make a new layer that is going to be a variety of just this kind of cold effect. And then what we do is we duplicate that layer and add glow. And then on the other one, we can blur it like this. It's a very subtle effect. Honestly, I don't know you'll be able to see it that well. But you know what? We could probably duplicate that layer a few times. There we go. There we go. Yeah. There. Perfect. That's an ice dagger. That is an ice dagger. What was this layer? Oh yeah, that was the straight line layer. Okay. So then we just need to merge those. Merge selected. There we go. And this is the glacial dagger. Yeah! If that's not an ice dagger, I don't know what is. The glacial dagger. Anytime you deal cold damage, the amount of cold damage dealt is increased by plus 1d8. Yeah. Let me save that one. Am I? Glacial dagger. Save. Okay. These are fun. I am having some serious fun with these, actually. I did not... I mean, I knew I was going to have fun. I have fun with these drawing streams. But I had no idea that drawing random magic items was going to be this much fun. So we've got the glacial dagger and we've got the bold cap so far. Not too bad. So let's make another one. Do you guys want to see me do like a random one? Or do you guys... You know what? I almost don't know if I could be clever enough to make anything better than these random ones. So I feel like we should keep going with the random ones. So I'm going to do that. So let's roll that again. Okay. So here's my three options. Longbow, Life Bane, requires 2 hands to wield. Okay. Defensive Hide Armor of the Gremlin. Your AC is increased by +1. Your Wisdom ability score is increased by +2. Ooh, that's pretty good. And then Cap of the Fortune Teller. Every time you're hit by a monster, you glimpse a random image of its future or past. Ooh. Hey, Arrow. Welcome, welcome. Let's do that one. Yeah! Let's do the cap, though. Every time you're hit by a monster, you glimpse a random image of its future or past. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That could be a great DM tool. Or a DM bane. Cap of the Fortune Teller. And this one is going to be rare as well. That has nothing to do with you being an archer. Well, tell you what, I will definitely do a bow. I will definitely do a bow in this stream for you. So every time you are hit by a monster, you glimpse a random image of its future or past. So that's what we're going to make here. Oh, that's true. Monster should say... Well... Yeah, should say creature. Yeah, you're right. Should say creature. You're absolutely right. But with the possibility to change its form depending on the fight. That's interesting. That's an interesting concept. I like that concept, Jer. We're already 2 in, but I feel like we're just getting started. Okay, so let's think about what a cap of the Fortune Teller would look like. We already did the bold cap. This was one kind of cap. But I wonder what a cap of the Fortune Teller would look like. I'm imagining something with, like, some gems or pearls or magic orbs around it. Like crystal ball kind of thing, or maybe like a... Like with a... With like a... yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me think. What kind of tall hats are out there? Tall hat. I mean, yeah, immediately it comes up with tall hats. Curtains on the back. That's a good idea. Let's... Yeah, gypsy shawl. A gypsy shawl. There's a bunch of... Ooh. I'm looking up, like, what kind of hats they would wear in medieval times. And many of them were different kinds of cloth that you would wrap about your head, right? Oh, Romani, is gypsy not a good term anymore? Well, so Persephone, is it okay to talk about gypsies in a historical sense, or have we kind of gotten past that? Or like, oh, okay. Well, then we will use Romani. I was not aware. Thank you for letting me know. But yeah, a lot of medieval hats were like different kinds of cloth that you would wear about your head, folded about and stuff like that. In a modern thing, no, it's bad. Source M half Romani. Oh, okay, great. Well, I'm glad we have your input there, Arrow there. Let me think. I'm getting some good ideas here. I think we're going to... There's this silly looking hat. What's this called? It's this little piece of paper that I have here says it's an Italian gentleman red moire hat with a white brim, late 13th and early 14th century. I don't know why, but I just love the shape of this. So we're going to do this shape, and then we're going to add a little bit of pizzazz to it. Let's see here. Okay. Let's show you guys what I'm talking about. Get my sketch pencil back here. I only know the historical version. I didn't know that the word was still being used. Yeah, I honestly didn't either. But I guess different times, right? Different times. I've been asleep for such a long time. It's hard to know what kind of words are acceptable or not sometimes. So this hat, oh, I love it. It just has an interesting shape that I think will be fun for players. Because that's the idea, right? I want this to be fun. I want DMs to be motivated by these. So it kind of has this peak. And then this comes down and around. And then it does one of these. Yeah, like that. And I'll probably have to warp this a little bit, actually. Edit. Transform. Let me just bring... bring these in a little bit. Okay. And then, yeah, and then it has this, like, little peak in the center. So it almost looks like one of those paper boat hats that you see sometimes. I think I need to bring this down a little further. There we go. Get the right eraser here, that would help. What's up, Senor Lobo? Welcome, welcome. We're drawing some magic items today. Glad to have you. There we go. Okay, so here's kind of the shape that I was thinking of. And then what we can do is add some different decoration to it. It looks more like a pistachio. I think that's exactly what we're going for. A pistachio hat. Yes. Okay. Just trying to get these lines a little bit cleaner because they are a lot of just straight lines. Come on, there we go. Pistachio hat. I could go for some pistachios. I like pistachios. Okay. Gotta make the center green. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. So what I want is like a... we could add maybe like a button here. Or like a gem on the side. This is technically the side of it. This is the front of the hat. Right there. This is the side. And I want to kind of show that that's the front by adding like a monocle or like a viewing glass or something like that. I think that'd be good. Hold on one second. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So, gem here. Maybe with a chain hanging from it. I think that'd be kind of cool. No particular reason, just a chain. Just a little dangly bit right there. And then a real big kind of monocle type thing here. To really show that you're seeing something. You're not going to know. The DM may not tell you if it's an image of the creature's future or past. I suppose if you're fighting it and it's an image of the future, it might be, you know, an image of it dead if you win. The scary part is if it would be still alive. But it's a random image, so it could just be an image of it, you know, going to the bathroom. You won't know. So this is a cap of the fortune teller. So the idea is that you put this on and it does this. So every time you are hit by a creature, you glimpse a random image of its future or past. And so this is a hat that you'll wear that could give you little images of the creature's life. Okay. So how do I want to do this? Here's a little cheat, an art cheat. I have this circle and I want to make a ring around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the same exact thing. And then hit Control-T to make it a little bit bigger. Like this. And then I just place it in the correct spot. Boom, done. Didn't have to draw a thing. Yeah, luckily not smell-o-vision. Whoa, wrong pencil. And we'll kind of maybe have a little effect line in there in a moment. And then we're going to have a... maybe like a... like a teardrop kind of shape. No. I need a little bit more to this. Ooh, maybe a, we could add like another gem off to the side. So the hat will have jewels, mirrors, or not. Yeah, it'll have a big mirror on the front with gems around it, with little chains hanging from them. I like the motif of the chains because it's like you can't escape destiny, right? Let's redo this. Oh. Let's redo this one real quick. There we go. That looks a little better. So chains, and then we can do like an embroidery pattern on the peak. Yeah, maybe like this could be a mirror, and this could be an eye, and this could be another, like just different things all across this thing. I think that'd be really cool. And we'll have another one kind of hanging off the back, as if to say that there's something, you know, viewing something on the front and the back from the past or the future. Yeah. Do like this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And then we want just like an embroidery something or other. Like this is the center line. This is the side line. Let me take a look at what we have over here. You know what? Maybe we can continue that chain motif. I have an idea. If we do it like this. Yeah. So this is just going to be like an embroidery on the side. Going up and down. Yeah. Yes, my friends. Okay. And then we'll put like another chain over here. Just kind of coming out the back. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay, let's give it some color. Can have a wedge at the tip of each side of the hat. You mean like that? Oops. Yeah. No, more like a line. Well, I'm going to do this part anyway because I like it. It was a good idea that was lost in translation. Yeah, there we go. Just to give it a more interesting silhouette, I think. That's kind of nice. Happy accident. More like a line. Oh, like this. Like that sort of thing. We might do that in the coloring part. There we go. Okay. Speaking of color. What colors do you guys think this hat would be? When I think fortune tellers, I think like navy and purple. With maybe like yellow, gold for the gems and things like that. So if we get like a nice deep navy like this. Let's see. Ooh, nope. Yeah. Definitely gold highlights. Yeah, definitely gold highlights. Good point. Let's start with this. I like this nice bluish purple. Or purplish blue. I don't know what this color is called. Whoop. In the background, I also have Minecraft running. Let's just color all this in. To farm up materials that I'm going to need. Always thinking about what project to do next in that game. I'm just going to color the entire thing in, and then we can go back and change colors, like in the middle. Like, I would love this this kind of chain embroidery pattern to be a maybe a deeper purple. I think that'd be cool. Get all this colored in. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Duplicate. There we go. Okay. So there's that, and then we can go in with, no... Maybe a lighter? Gold for each flange of the hat, fuchsia for the main thing in the center, jewels and mirrors type. I think I see where you're going. I think having this purple in the middle is going to be good. Yeah. And then we could do a cheeky thing where we make this this inside flap just a little darker for depth purposes. There we go. Okay. And then this here... We could... I don't know what to do with this. Maybe just darker purple? Yeah. I'll go with that. And then when we get the golds in here, everything will really start popping, I think. Just get this coming all the way down. Okay. Now we can pull in some gold. Which is like, that color. Yep. So what I want to do is just fill in these gems and the chains. Like that. Even though it doesn't look great. Just having that little extra bit there, I think, looks a lot better than just leaving it as it was. And we can do the same thing over here. I can go in and clean that up in a bit. Oh, right. And just clean these up just a smidge. Okay. And then, probably like a light blue for this one. For the mirror one, and then we can do maybe, what color should like the eyes be? Because I imagine they'll be like dragon eyes or something like that. Some sort of reptilian eye. Would be... Or maybe like a... evil eye sort of thing? Maybe? Should they be maybe like red-ish? Maybe this sort of color? Yeah. Or should they be orange? I'm not sure. I kind of like this color. Because it really adds that extra pop. Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. So now we can start playing around with effects. So for this, for example, what I want is for a... like a... yeah, like that. Like the slitted eye. Why is this... Do I need a bigger brush here? What's going on? There we go, yeah. There we go. That's what we want. Okay. And then we can take this for our mirrors there. And then we can go in with a quick multiply layer. Give it a shade. Let's see. So the shade would probably be like... oh, whoop. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. That's what we want. Okay. And then we can come back in with that kneaded eraser brush that's just so freaking good. And, slap it with some of this. And then down along the chain here. And up this. And then just give it a one last little... Because that's a bit dark. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Can make it look like Sauron's eye. Yeah. I could even go in with... Let's see. This and this. And take... like a yellowish color. And add just a touch of color in the center, which I would need to put up here. Oop, wait a minute. Why is that not showing up? Ah, that's why. So it would need to be... like that. Okay, there we go. That'll do. Like that. That, and then all we need left is just a little bit of shine. Like that. There we go. Yeah. That looks like a fortune teller's cap if I ever saw one. Cool. I could make this just a bit better. Let's take this. Where is it? That, yeah. And then go to my good old multiplier layer. And just add a little bit of, you know what? I'm going to need another one so that I can fiddle with the opacity. That, and then... there we go. That's a little better. Okay. Let's just go ahead and merge all these layers together. Perfect. Fortune teller cap. So let's give this a quick save. Different figure at each side. I'm not sure. At this point, I worry about overcomplicating it. I think, and there is a lot of negative space on this particular little magic item. But I think I'm pretty content with it at the moment. Of course, these, you know, when it comes to D&D, these are only suggestions and things like that. You can always make your own descriptions and edits as you see fit. But let's go ahead and save this real quick. This is the MI magic item cap of the fortune teller. Save. Okay. So let's just dive right into the next one. Let's see what this thing comes up with this time. Okay, so we have the Exploding Star Quarterstaff. Creatures struck by an exploding star suffer plus 1d8 fire damage at the start of their next turn. Okay. or the scale mail of the night. If this armor imposed disadvantage to stealth, it no longer does. Otherwise, the bearer gains +1 bonus to dexterity stealth checks. Okay. Or the Smith's Amulet of the Nine Hells. The bearer may cast Mending once per day. When in the Nine Hells, the bearer has advantage on saving throws against pervasive evil. I don't think we're going to do that one. Let's try... We haven't done an armor one yet, so let's try the scale mail. Let's try the scale mail of the night. Let me see if I can do that. Scale mail. Yeah, it tends to be interlapping or interlocking scales, perhaps from a lizard or dragon or something like that. Ideally an evil dragon, not a good dragon. If you're making your armor out of good dragons, then you might want to reprioritize your life. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this. So this is Scale Mail of the Night. And it is uncommon. Just have that come over just a little bit more. There we go. And then what this does is we're just going to keep it simple. The bearer gains a +1 bonus to dexterity stealth checks. Nice and simple, right? Nothing complicated. So scale mail of the night. So stealthy scale mail. Let's see. Let's start just by kind of drawing a... Oop, that is white. I need my brown color here. There we go. And... sketch. I just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone for being here as we doodle these artifacts. We're just going to do the chest part of this, I think. I'm not going to do the whole suit. I think that'll, first of all, take too long. I would rather have more items. Because I think exploring the different magical items and the effects that they can have is a lot more fun. Okay, so there's kind of a basic torso shape. Now, scale mail. I like this one design. It has kind of a rope around the waist. It's fun to listen to while doing my own art things. That's fantastic. What if you make it like your own chest plate? It would look great. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. Just a chest plate, maybe with an extra like scale pauldron or shoulder plate. Something simple, kind of like this. Just to add a little bit of visual interest. And then we can kind of shape it like a scale, like that. Yeah, like that. It also kind of covers up some of the issue that I might have drawing the shoulder pad. I'm kind of covering up a weakness by adding this. Okay. So this is the scale mail of the night. So it is real basic. You get a +1 bonus to dexterity stealth checks when you wear this. Probably an uncommon item is what I went with. So not necessarily common, because it is made of scales after all. But I want this kind of rounded shape at the bottom there, and then yeah. Interesting. Been assuming this is 5e and flat bonuses aren't common. Yes, exactly. So I am writing these with 5th edition in mind. Flat bonuses are not very common. I think D&D 5th edition was written with the intention of you could end the game, you could go all the way to level 20 with your starting equipment, right? That's kind of one of the things that they wanted to focus on, so that if you have some sort of heirloom sword or something like that you have in your backstory, you can keep that sword. There's nothing that says you can't. Actually, you know what? We're gonna have like a piece of cloth draping here. Like a tattered cloth. Yeah. I like that. And then maybe round this out. Yeah. And then bring this forward with like a scale pattern. There we go. That's better. That's already looking better. I imagine the cloth would help, you know, mute the join there. And then what do we want to do? Maybe we can turn this part into kind of a belt-ish. Wait until you get into homebrew Persephone Worth. Following the rules aren't common. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I tend to stay away from homebrew with my own campaigns. I discourage my players from looking at it. Because a lot of it, they do just throw some of the design concepts of D&D out the window. It's kind of like why I tend to not do modded Minecraft, because a lot of the mods tend to throw the basic kind of balance of Minecraft out the window. So yeah, we'll do that, and then what we can do is maybe have like a scale shape right here at the center. Yeah, I like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have this belt shape have like a tie off. Let me see if I can make that look half decent. Instead of a normal belt clasp, it'll just be like a tie off. Like that. Okay. And then just adding a little bit of detail to the belt buckle here. Yeah, mostly stay out of homebrew. I think there's a lot of potential in homebrew, but I tend to stay away from it myself as well. Okay, I think the most difficult part about this is going to be the scale pattern itself. So how can we... Ooh. You know what? I like this. I think for like the top, we'll do this like crossed leather strap. Over the top of the whole thing. Again, I'm looking at references. No shame. No problem. Getting inspiration from references is all okay. There we go. And then we can add kind of a, like a proper belt buckle here. Rectangular overlapping plates. Okay. Yeah, especially if you're drawing people, absolutely. There are some that were triangular, but those rare Germanic examples. Yeah, I'm seeing some of that. I think I might go with that rectangular shape, because I kind of like it. Let me just kind of throw in... this here, that there. And this here, I think. Okay. So there's some good detail so far. And then I think we'll try to go for the dragon scale shape, since I'm looking at this. So, but let's see if we can maybe cheat it a little bit. If we have these lines kind of following the shape of the body here, or the shape of the torso, and then we just have these crisscrossing. And then we can kind of go in and sharpen a few of these shapes up to make them kind of stand out. So like we just pick out the lines a little bit. Because I don't want to be sitting here drawing scales for the next 2 hours. Just a little bit of emphasis to kind of show what it is. We can get rid of some of this in there, because we already have kind of the volume of it. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah. That's not bad, huh? Thanks, Tabby Cat. I appreciate that. I'm doing my best, you know? Gotta keep those creative juices flowing. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's enough to show that it's scale mail. So let's duplicate that layer up. That way we get a nice nice foundation here, and let's color it. So it's stealth armor. One shoulder it's kind of like gladiator style. It keeps your dexterity up, so your offhand is you know, a little bit less encumbered, but you still get the protection on the side that's facing your opponent. Just clean that up a little bit. Would it have kept a certain character from getting shot? Probably, because they would have had a +1 bonus to their dexterity stealth checks. Okay, so let's get some colors in here. Color. There we go. It's scale mail of the night, right? So I imagine it's got to be some dark gray, but that doesn't mean that it has to be all the same sort of color. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with just this gray. And then we'll pick out the other details in some other colors, like dark brown for the straps. And then maybe a slightly lighter color for the cloth and some other bits. There we go. Is there a chance to see these after the holidays, or is this something different? It's possible. So right now I'm just I'm going to be posting these on Twitter for people to use if they feel like it. I'm using a website that generates random magical items. I may use these in my own campaigns. You never know. But you know, there's so many magic items out there that do have images, but when it comes to random, you know, magical items, sometimes it can be hard to find an image that works for what you're trying to describe. So if I can, you know, add a few things to the pool, then fantastic. I'll happily contribute. Because sometimes, you know, a person's imagination only gets so far. If they have an image to work off of to inspire them, then I think that's great. Okay, so we got that there. Just filling in the lines here, and then I can go back and tack on some other colors here. It could have dark purple, blue in places for shadows and highlights. Yes, I agree. I think that's a good idea. For now, we're just... let's go ahead and add some, you know, brown leather to the straps, and we'll see kind of how that looks. Ooh. Like that, yeah. Because I like this blue. This kind of gray blue. For the leather parts. And the leather parts is just going to be these straps and then part of the shoulder pad, and then we have cloth that will be under the shoulder pad, and then the belt that's actually wrapped around the waist. we go. So that, and then this part here. That's going to be leather. Okay. And maybe this part here as well. Okay. And then we can take a lighter, like, iron color, maybe? Or maybe even a darker... Hold on. Yeah, let's do that. The lines don't look great with it, but it'll do. And I'll do this for the these metal bits, because you wouldn't want the metal parts to be shining if you're trying to stealth around. Darker parts there. And then we'll even go and add this to these bits here. And we'll come back in and add a few little highlights after we get these colors in. There we go. Okay. And then the cloth, I like the idea of using a purple. So I think we'll do exactly that. Ooh. Too bright. Too bright. Yeah, that's better. Purple's a nice roguish color, I think. Adds a little bit of flair. All these colors are pretty muted, but maybe we can bring them out a bit with the highlighting. Even though it is stealth armor, you know, it needs to have some depth. Okay. And then maybe for the shoulder pad over here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just make it a slightly different color. I've got big plans for my own personal Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. I just came up with some new ideas on the plot moving forward, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun for my players. Unfortunately, not recording any of those. That's just for me and my friends. I wouldn't mind doing a D&D campaign, like with other YouTubers or VTubers. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I was discussing that in another stream. Should I come out to my parents as having a... Okay. That was not on topic at all. Not on topic at all. Okay, so that's all of that color. So now we can come in with some highlights. That's always the challenge, is the schedule. That is always the challenge. Anything I might run, I couldn't stream because I'd use a published adventure. Ah! Can you not stream published adventures? Let's use this one. Well, I guess technically, yeah, I guess if you can't make money off of it or something like that. None of my videos so far are monetized. So I'm not worried about that. I'm a long way away from monetization. Yeah, look at that. Just that little bit already made that scale armor pop. You know, I'm not sure. But I do some stuff on an RPG forum, and posting images from books is banned because of copyright. Yeah, so here's the thing. Different companies are going to have different rules for it, right? That's obviously, that's pretty obvious. But I think the big thing that you can do if you really want to try is to pop an email to Wizards of the Coast and be like, hey, I want to stream this content. What are the rules? Or what are the, you know, is this allowed? Is this allowed? Is this a thing? Minecraft, for example, has... Yeah, they might have an FAQ on their website for this kind of thing. I know Minecraft is very, very open. They love people streaming, but then other companies like Nintendo tend to lock down streaming really quickly. It all depends on the company. And then a little bit more right there. There we go. But I think the main kind of guideline, and I am not a legal expert, do not take my word on this. Definitely check with your lawyer or anything like that, or whatever if you're really worried about it. But generally, if you are adding your own spin to the content, if it is your characters, your artwork, you know, things like that, then it's generally okay. It's when you try to claim ownership of the stuff, or you use the stuff without giving proper credit, that tends to be when people get DMCA'd. Now, I don't know 100% certain. It could be different by country. It could be different by state. I'm not a legal expert. I do not know. But if you're worried about it, check with the sources themselves, and I'm sure that they will have an answer for you. Okay, so let's add a little bit of shade to this. Gonna go for this nice textured brush here. I kind of like that, and then we can come back in with the kneaded eraser and do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Come on, brush, work with me. There we go. And then just kind of throw this on some of them. Add a little bit more depth. There we go. And then come back with this. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Scale mail of the night. like that. It's simple. Yeah, let's lighten that up just a little bit. There we go. That looks better to me. And is this the this is the highlight. I wonder if we can... What happens if we change that to an add glow? You know what? That actually looks a lot better. That does not. Add glow. Yeah, let's keep that. Let's keep that. Okay, this to this. More than scales reminds me to cobblestone the final part. Yeah, a little bit. And that's okay too. We're gonna merge those. This is the scale mail. And we are gonna save this one. File, save as MI. Scale mail of the night. We are already 4 in, my friends. 4 in. So we have the scale mail of the night. We have the fortune teller's cap. We have the glacial dagger. And we have the bold cap. I'm really happy with all of these so far. So let's go ahead and roll up a new one. I still do want to do a bow of some kind. So let's see if we can get a bow from this random generator. We got one a minute ago. That's a trident. That's a pike. No. Halberd. Lance. Scimitar. Come on, give me a bow. Give me a bow. Pike, halberd. I'm getting a lot of long polearm weapons here. Lance. Okay, a great axe. Another halberd. Where's all the bows? Okay, here we go. Ooh. That one's weird. That one's kind of weird too. Come on. Give me a... Yeah, there was one that was like, if you kill a creature, get temporary hit points equal to the CR of that creature. That's just odd. That's just odd. And the other one was, it's a bow that you can't have your intelligence reduced below 11, which is another very odd one. And could be a little bit game breaking in the end game when you have, save or die sort of, checks on your various statistics. That one's weird too. Anyone except the bearer must attempt a DC 10 plus X charisma check to pick up this weapon, where X is the bearer's level. Any attack made with this weapon against the bearer has disadvantage. That's... no. What the heck? I do like that they thought long and hard. They added a lot of different things to this this system, but some of them are just a little bit weird. That's a flail. A sickle. Come on, give me a bow. Is there a way that I can filter these on this thing? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Ooh, here's one. Here's one. Ooh, I like that idea, Persephone. But I found one. So this is a A short bow of the weave is what it's called. Short bow of the weave. I like this this effect because I think it's really, really unusual. So short bow of the weave, and it is going to be, what's the status above rare? Very rare. Okay, we'll go with very rare. Nah, we'll just go with rare. Because the effect is nice, but it's not game-breaking nice. I like this concept. Okay. So what this does is, whenever the bearer casts a spell, so ideally if you're like a bard, a ranger, this probably won't work very well if you're a fighter, obviously. But this is nice. Like if you're a bard or a druid or a ranger of some kind, whenever the bearer casts a spell, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove 13 charges and make this a +1 weapon until the start of the next round. All charges are lost during a long rest. I'm going to tweak that a little bit. Instead of 13 charges, I'm going to make it... let's make it 7. Let's make it 7 charges. Because you're only making it a +1 weapon until the start of the next round. So... And you would have to cast, you know, 2 level 3 spells and a level 1 spell, or... You know, it would take you several turns to get that charge up. It is going to be a lot to type, but let's throw it in here real quick. Let's see what we can do. Whenever the bearer casts a spell, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove 7 charges and make this a +1 weapon until the start of the next round. All charges are lost during a long rest. That's pretty, I gotta squeeze that in there. Let's see here. There we go. That's not too bad. Let's split this up. We'll do that. That. Can use a bonus action to remove 7 charges and make this a +1 weapon until the start of the next round. So it's kind of like a bow that maybe feeds off of the residual magical energy that you're casting, and then it turns into a +1 weapon as a bonus action, which means that, like, let's say that you are a ranger and you're using Hail of Thorns or something like that, then you can follow up with another boost on top of all that. I think that'd be really cool. Okay. So, let's get this in here. I could imagine the bow having a gem or stone that collects the residual magic until exactly, yes. That's what I want to go for. So, might still be too much, but it's a neat concept. It might still be too much, and there might be, especially because if you have a base weapon that is +1, it's immediately going to be better than this, right? So we might change it down, or maybe we can fiddle around with this effect. I just love the charging effect. Maybe instead of becoming a +1 weapon, it does, like, its next attack will do, like, +1d8 damage, like force damage or something like that. That might be cool, instead of just the +1. That way it still maintains, like, a little bit of an advantage over just a normal +1 weapon. I think that could be really cool. So we'll fiddle with that. I like the charging concept. Yeah, hold on. Let's finish this concept. Okay. Whenever the bearer casts a spell, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level. Great. That's fine. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove... We'll stick with 7 charges and make this a... Seven charges. Tell you what, we'll remove this last bit. 7 charges. When they do so, the weapon, the next time the bearer attacks with this weapon, add plus... Let's do 1d... Let's do 2d4. What effect do you think we should go for? Should we go with force damage, ice damage, poison damage? What's the chat feeling? Because I think that the type of damage that we do with this is going to be reflected in the image. Arrow, if you're still in the chat, I would love your opinion on this. Yeah, subtle, adaptable, and powerful. I agree. It needs to have something to, like, hold the charges, and then it needs to look like what it's going to do. And it's a short bow, and I believe short bows are simple weapons, so let me double check that. I believe that short bows are simple weapons. Yes. So that means that any class, pretty much any class can use them. Which is great, because if you're like a wizard, then you want to use this, or if you're, you know, a ranger or whatever. A sorcerer could use it if they wanted to, I believe. And the short bow normally does 1d6 piercing damage. So this would add like another... Oh, they don't get all simple weapons. Oh. Well, sucks to be a wizard or a sorcerer, I guess. You know what I like about this is that because it gains charges equal to the spell's level, that means that this won't trigger on cantrips, because cantrips are technically 0-level spells. So that means you can't just spam, you know, Prestidigitation or Eldritch Blast. Yeah, so we'll do add 2d4 force damage. Yeah, that way it's a little bit better than just a +1 weapon. It'll do reliable damage, and that's a pretty big boost. It'll do the 1d6 damage plus the 2d force damage plus whatever your dexterity mod is, which I think is pretty great. I think that's pretty great. So that'll be a nice reason to take this bow. I think any player would be happy to get this. Hit with weapon instead. Oh, yeah. What they do the next time the bearer attacks with this weapon. Oh, yeah, hits with this weapon. Yeah, you're right. That does kind of change it to... Yeah, I could clarify cast a spell of first level or higher. Yeah. Cast a spell. We'll keep it like this. That way we can leave it to like the DM's interpretation. Call it the tour de force. Oh my god. 2d4 force damage. And so yeah, so that's kind of nice because it's the next time it hits. That way it's not like you have to do another 7 charges before you get the effect again. So you can kind of hold that boost until you actually hit with it. No, it's just like... Oh, yeah, and then all charges... Hold on. Yeah, this is going to get wordy, my friends. This is going to get a little bit wordy. Okay, hold on. Let me add some stipulations. Okay. Tell you what. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy all of this into a notepad so that I can see all this. So, whenever the bearer casts a spell of first level or higher, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level, right? Let me just kind of format this a little bit. I'm glad you all are here to help me out with this. Okay. Whenever the bearer casts a spell of first level or higher, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove... Okay. Then we have to add... this weapon can hold a maximum of 7 charges. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove all charges. When they do so, the next time the bearer hits with this weapon, add 2d4 force damage. So you have to spend all of the charges. Let me copy this back in here. It's a little bit wordy, I do apologize. But I think adding those stipulations helps us a little bit. So, whenever the bearer casts a spell of first level or higher, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level. This weapon can hold a maximum of 7 charges. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove all charges. When they do so, the next time the bearer hits with this weapon, add 2d4 force damage. Does that make sense? Let me know if it does not as I start sketching this. I'm going to try to keep the text in the frame here. As I get working on this design. So short bow, let's look that up. Short bow. Ooh, there's lots of cool designs. I like this recurve design. Wouldn't it be better to put the maximum charge to 10 to make it more like not forced? Well, I don't want it to take too long for a character to get the charges up there. But I do want them to have to clear all of the charges. So let's say that a character uses like 2 fourth level spells, right? So that would be 8 charges, but it can only hold a maximum of 7. So it's full up. So once they fill it up, then you use a bonus action to put those charges into your next attack that adds the force damage. That's the intention anyway. Some of it may be kind of up to your interpretation. But I don't want to have it like hold 10 charges, but you have to spend 5 charges and blah, blah, blah. I think that just gets a little bit more complicated. That's more to keep track of. Just have it fill up and then empty, fill up, then empty. That way you don't only have to keep track of one thing. So let's take a look at these bows. I kind of like... No. Ooh. That one's nice. Splinter shot. I'm actually finding a lot of images that already are of D&D magic items. So let's... Ooh, that one's cool too. Bow of the Eldritch Archer. That's neat. Each time the bear casts a level 1 spell or higher, the bone gains a charge equal to the spell's level. As a bonus action, the bear can choose to spend 7 charges on a successful bow attack to add 2d4 force damage to the damage roll. That does sound a little better. That does sound a little better. Well, let's focus on the drawn part here as we think about it. Okay, so bows like this, they have, you know, the line going across the bowstring, rather. And I want that part... Actually, let's just use the line tool for that. So that's going to be, like, right here. Okay. And then... these bows often have kind of a... Oh, that may be a little bit too dramatic. Let's try like this. And then it comes in. Hold on. That's not quite right. Dagnabbit. Mix the signs to make it maybe. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay. Like if I use that scent symbol, that would make the most sense, right? And then what we want is... so usually the end on a lot of these is like capped with like the thing that actually holds the string. Is that right? And then we could do... Actually, we might keep this shape and kind of add to it. Let's get this zoomed in. And then you can pass through the sea, the bow. I think I see what you're saying. Oops. Let's kind of pull this up, expand it a bit. Let me just clean this up and we'll add some more juicy detail. What I want is for it to really look like there's a spot on the bow that's holding the magic that the user can then release, right? And so I think what I'm going to do is add a... add like a part of this or this, kind of change it up to have like a shape of some sort. Cast PowerPoints. I'm not sure I understand. I apologize. Also, I apologize for my voice if it gets a little bit softer. I'm feeling a little bit raw. I might have overdone it. But I will definitely be getting some tea after this. Maybe some cider and honey. Okay. So I think, like, we could have a... This was the most complex to start out yet. Yeah. Yeah, this one was definitely the most complex, but I like the concept of the effect. I think that we're really onto something. I mean, the C get over his curve some dots representing his points. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. We're gonna kind of do that and kind of not. Because I think what we're gonna do, because there was a bow here. Yeah, this one. It's called the Kill Skull Longbow. That actually has like a skull as part of its design, which I think is really cool. We're going to go a little bit different than that, though. Oh, no, kitty. Now is not the time to be crawling in my lap. That's where the tablet is. So, let's see here. We can have a... Let's just kind of put a shape here for now. And then maybe it comes around this way. And then this way, right? So... like this. Okay. And then we can have maybe a spike or two. No, not quite. Kitty, no. Kitty, no. Kitty, no. 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 Okay. There. Get out of there. Paladin weapons, yeah. Just adding that shape really breaks up the bow. In fact, it makes me kind of want to change this one over here, too. Just make it curving outward like this. Like that. Okay. So what we're going to have is some crystals or something here, right? So let me look up a See, I like how this one has like a wisps of magic coming off of it. So maybe we can have a shape here that comes out this way. Yeah. Not coming necessarily to a point, but just a very narrow, flat tip, right? And what we're going to do... There we go. So when this gem is full, the idea is that it is ready for its force damage boost. And we're going to add a little hole right here. Like that. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Let's just add a little bit of detail here. There we go. Clean up a little bit of this. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty sleek. That looks pretty sleek. That looks pretty sleek. Let's add an arrow. Just for the effect. I have been attacked by a number of arrows in my time. Not a fan. Not a fan. We'll kind of add it kind of going across here. Like that. And then, oops, you know what? Let's do this. You ready to learn another cheat? Watch this. I make a line, and I want this line to have depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer. Move this line slightly. Like that. And then merge them back together. Now I've got the shaft for my arrow. Just like that. And then we can just erase those. And then add the feathers at the end. Like this. Give a fun little curve to that. There we go. And then an arrow tip. We're going to keep it simple because it's not the arrow that's magical, it is the bow that is magical. Just like that. I honestly have, I don't think I've ever drawn a bow before. So this was a new kind of challenge. Figuring all these pieces out here. Clean up the ends here that I totally neglected. Well, thanks. If I have the approval of the archer himself, whose name is Arrow, then that's all I can really ask for. Even have horn knocks. Bravo for that detail. Yeah. That's what I'm putting in here. That's what these are called. The horn knocks. That kind of holds the string in. if I can clean it up properly. The Ice Cream Archer. That's funny. Okay. Time for color. Wait. Fix that line. Okay. Now it's time for color. Wait. Gotta fix this thing. Okay, now it's time for color. Okay. Duplicate that. This is... Hey, welcome, Sacred Ratchet. Thanks for being here. We're a few items in. I'm going to finish this one, and then I think I'll do one more, because we're getting close to the 3-hour mark. But I'll go over all of the different items at the end, so that you don't miss out. And then I'll be posting all of these on my Twitter account as well, for people to use if they want to. Okay. So what color do you guys think that this gem should be? It is going to be doing force damage. So I was thinking blue, but I'm not 100% certain on that. We need like a nice wood color, I think. Maybe like a clear white. Okay. We're going to keep the most of the bow, I think, the traditional sort of wooden color. But then when we get to the horn knocks and other things, then I think that we can have a little more fun with those. Force damage is kind of like, you know in Star Wars where they'll do like a force push? Like Obi-Wan will push over droids or something like that? Or a Jedi will just throw at his hand and cause something to move. That's kind of like force damage. Okay. So it's kind of like, yeah, getting like punched in the face with magic. But it's not bludgeoning. Yeah, it's technically telekinetic damage. Right, it's not really bludgeoning damage. I'm going to make these parts silver. I think that's going to be a nice contrast to the wood. As well as the arrow tip, probably. Made a magic powerful bow with wood. Thing's gonna explode at the first attempt. Yeah, maybe. Thunder is the sound, lightning is electrical damage. Green would be a nice contrast. Yeah, green might be good. Still gets me when people mistake thunder damage for lightning. Yeah. Thunder is more catchy, but it does cause a lot of confusion. I've seen that before as well. I'm just going to do this kind of yellowish color for the feathers back here. And then... what do we want here? Maybe like a darker... like leather for the handle. Like that. And then... yeah, maybe green. Yeah, there's a lot of greens. I don't want to go for like a yellow green. I think that'd be kind of too sickly of a color. I wonder if I can cheese this. Hold on. Oh, I totally can. Consider it cheesed. Yeah, deep emerald green. Yeah. What do you guys think? That kind of green? Or is that too dark? That looks good? Good. Let's add some some effects. Yeah, highlights are definitely going to make it pop out. Okay. Oh, I hit the wrong layer button. There we go. Okay. We'll start just by doing the wood here. Get that out of the way. Okay. That's a good start. Use this nice textured eraser. Across the length here. Love this thing. Love it, love it. Okay. And then... throw in some quick little highlights on the silver parts. Not going to agonize too much here. And then little, let's see, can we take this one here for the wood? That's got some nice texture to it too. I tell you what, texture on a brush, it can really do half the work for you. Even 90% of the work for you, depending on what you're doing. Like that right there, just a little bit of texture on the metal. Are you hinting at something with the D&D stream today? Well, actually, I think it was you, Stakered Ratchet, that recommended that I add D&D stats. Or somebody on Twitter, I can't remember. Thanks for coming, Persephone. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you have a good night. Happy Sunday and all that. But it was somebody that recommended that I add D&D stats to these, and I was like, oh my god, that's such a great idea. So this was not my original idea. Somebody told me to do this, and I was like, yes, let's make it happen. Let's make it a reality. Nope, wait a minute, where is it? Subtract? That's the one. This looks really, really terrible right now, but trust me, it'll work out. And then I think I need to add... that... It does look kind of simple. You know what? I'm not liking how this is coming out, actually. Hold on. Let's start back from here. And then we'll do that. Yeah, maybe classic way is best. And then we can do a... Because what I want to do is have like a wisp of energy coming off of this. And I think that'll really help the effect. Thank you, thank you. We need the airbrush. And take this and an even darker color. And we do that, and then we take an even lighter color. And we do that. There we go. And then... do I have a... Yes, I do. Not quite. Hold on. Yeah. So we're going to add a little sparkle like that. And then... where did that one bow go? There it is. Then we're going to add a little... or do we want to have that? I don't know. I'm not sold on that one. Hold on. I'll come back to that effect. So what I want is a smoky sort of essence coming off of this thing. So starting like here and or maybe like coming this way. Yeah. Let's use some of the negative space that we have coming off this way. So give it a little little something there, and then we can come back in with our eraser and kind of take away some of the effects, and then we can come back in with a slightly darker color. And fill out some of that. Resonating with the bowstring, showing that impact. Oh, good idea. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oop, oop, a little too much there. There we go. Yeah. So look at that. See, isn't that so much better already? And then what we can do is add a little something to the bowstring itself. I like that idea. Let me see what I have in terms of effects here. If we have a nice bright color, and we're going to make this an add glow. No, that's not quite the one that I want. Let's do running color spray. Maybe whoa. Yeah, yeah. So then we'll have like a little bit of these kind of sparkles along the bowstring. And what we can do is duplicate that layer. And on the previous one, we take a blur tool, and we're just gonna hold on. Whoa, that's really intense. Hold the phone. Yeah, that's better. And then we just come along and kind of add a little bit of blur to it. And then we can reduce the opacity on that. There we go. And then what I want to do is take this and add some of this green that we have here. Oh, I need this. Oh, right, and I need a new layer. There we go. Not a ton, just enough to show that the effect is coming from the same place. Yeah. Yep. I think that's looking pretty cool. We can maybe add a little bit of blur. Let's see, which one is that? That's the one, yeah. A little bit more blur to some of these effects along here. Make it really look like it's glowing. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. So there is the short bow of the weave. I'm not really sure why it's called the weave. But the tentative rule is that whenever the bearer casts a spell of first level or higher, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level. This weapon can hold a maximum of 7 charges. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove all charges. When they do so, the next time the bearer hits with this weapon, add plus 2d4 force damage. Well, thank you very much, Arrow. I appreciate that. Let's make sure to save this. And then we'll do one more. Short bow of the weave. Oh, I gotta merge all these layers here. That might change a little bit of how this looks, but that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Short bow of the weave. Yeah, it's a decent effect. It's not just because normally the original effect was, oh, it just becomes a +1 weapon for a turn. That's nothing. This is, I think, a little bit more significant. So let's try one more. Now, what do you guys think? Should I do a weapon, a piece of armor or another like kind of artifact, and that could be anything from another cap or an amulet or something like that. Because this website kind of breaks it down. It gives you a weapon, a piece of armor, or a trinket. So what do you guys think? Weapon, armor, or trinket for the last one? I'm not tackling wondrous items. I don't think so. A trinket? Okay. Trinket then? Does anybody else have any votes? Weapon, armor, or trinket? I'm just jamming out to my own music here. Okay, trinket. We'll do trinket. So let's hit this one more time here. Not that trinket. Not that trinket either. We've done some caps. The caps were technically trinkets. The fortune teller's cap and the bold cap. Though they kind of are armor, but I haven't done any amulets or anything like that, so that's what I'm kind of looking for. I don't think so. Hey, you know what? Yeah, helmets don't technically count as armor, so in the game. It's kind of weird. Let's go with this one. I like this. It's called the Unbroken Pawn. It says the bearer gains a +1 bonus to Constitution saving throws. So not just Constitution overall, just the Constitution saving throws, which is not too bad. Nice and simple, and I have an idea for this. Unbroken Pawn. Uncommon. Delete all this. The bearer gains a +1 bonus to Constitution saving throws. Simple. Simple. But I have an idea. So, chess pawn. Because pawns are simple, pretty recognizable shapes, right? So let's turn a pawn into kind of an amulet. Yeah, with like abs or something. That'd be kind of hilarious. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Simple. Get this color back. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of draw it at a bit of an angle. And pawns usually will have like a base, like a cylindrical base, and then kind of a rounded part that goes a little bit past that, and then it starts to come out into this sloped shape. You know what? I'm going to cheat a little bit. Here's another trick. I keep forgetting to change my eraser. There we go. Okay. I'm going to cheat a little bit. So what I'm going to do is add a ruler. And this is going to be a symmetrical ruler. And it is going to go Whoa, that's not correct. It is going to go straight down like that. So now, anything that I draw here is going to be mimicked on the other side. And then I can warp it a little bit if I want to. But pawns, simple, circular top, kind of a flare here, like that. Skinny neck, like that. Okay. And then it kind of, some of the little fancier ones kind of have some extra shapes to them. So let's do that. Let's add some fanciness to it. That, and then the base. Look at that. Don't have to make sure that each side is perfectly symmetrical. Now, the one thing about this symmetry ruler is that it only applies to the pen tools. So when I go erasing and cleaning this up, it will actually ignore a lot of... It'll ignore the eraser, which kind of sucks, but... Well, we probably saved a lot of time just doing that. So how do we make this look unbreakable, right? How do we make this look unbreakable? Gotta go by the time. Was great being here with you, Arlick. I like what you made here. Thank you very much, Jerry. I really appreciate that. Perhaps make it look like something that should... Ooh, that's a good idea, Swift James. I like that idea. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, well, let's make it, you know, look really stout and stuff like that. What if we go the opposite way and make it look really delicate? We can make it look really delicate in certain parts. So, like, I was thickening the neck, but what if we go the opposite way, where we make the neck really thin and precarious? Like this. Yeah, so a Dark Eldar model? Yeah, good point. You sneeze at a Dark Eldar model and it'll break. And then we can kind of maybe curve this in like this. See how I have to take the time to erase both sides? That's the one thing about the symmetry ruler that I haven't figured out. Maybe there's a way to change that. So then we're going to come in, and then we'll make this a little bit more dramatic. What's up, Cherry Axolotl? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. We're still drawing some magic items here. This one is the Unbreakable Pawn. It will give you a +1 to Constitution saving throws. I think that's pretty clever. Very simple, nothing fancy on this one, but we're going to try to make it look delicate, the opposite of unbreakable. It'll look like, oh yeah, you could just snap that with your fingers, but the opposite is true. Maybe we can... Yeah, I just want to make these curves really kind of dramatic here. Make it really like a wine glass, you know? Wine glasses have that look of being really delicate. Yeah, something like that. And then let's make the the base skinnier. Like that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So now we can get rid of the ruler. Delete ruler. There we go. We still keep the shape. We can start doing some other things. Let's transform it, put it at an angle. Maybe kind of attach it to a... Yes. I don't know why it wasn't letting me do that. We can add a little little necklace ring at the top. It'll end up looking a little bit more like a bishop for a second here. And then do like that and that. By adding this little rope here, this little hook and rope, it kind of gives it the impression that it's small, as well. You know, this is clearly not a what am I trying to say? The thickness of the necklace rope here, by having it be thicker, it'll make the entire thing look smaller. Like that. Yep. Just kind of erase a little bit of that. Yes, it is. It's a little chess piece that has been imbued with magical power. I'm sure it would lead to hilarious RP where an NPC or PC tries to break the pawn, but just can't. Exactly. Maybe you could take it to a tavern and start making bets. Be like, oh yeah, I bet you can't break this little glass ornament. People try throwing it against the ground. It doesn't break. Then the PCs get chased out of town for scamming. There we go. Yeah. See, magic items are best when they have a story element to them. The fortune teller's cap that we made a little bit ago, that one I really like. The idea that when you're wearing it and a monster or a creature hits you and you get a random image of their past or future. Yes. Welcome, Brenton. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining us. So let's see. So there we go. We have our little pendant. Let's duplicate that layer, make sure that the lines are very visible. Then we're going to go ahead and add the color. So because we want it to look delicate, I think I'm going to go with a glass type of look. Let me look up glass chess piece. Actually. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder if I can pull this effect off. That's going to be difficult. But I think maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it. Yeah. Here we go. That's a good image. Okay, we'll use that as a reference. So what we're going to do is start... We're going to be using... Are you aiming for the frosted glass look? I'm trying to go for the clear glass. So where I've been using kind of a lot of textures and things like that, on this one it's actually going to be a little bit sharper. So we're going to start with this real dark, almost black color. Come on now. The frosted glass I think would be easier, but maybe wouldn't get the effect that I want across. Whereas this I might be able to, it might be a little bit more striking. I could already imagine the DM going, oh yeah, and you find a glass chess piece. It looks so fragile. Like just handling it would break it. And then the player attunes themselves to the item and they realize, oh wait, actually this thing is magically unbreakable. And gives me a con save to boot. Yeah, look at that. Look at this nice wine glass shape that we have kind of going down the center of it. I think that's perfect. The reference that I'm using has these pieces kind of on a dark background, obviously to highlight the shine that they get. And though I'm not necessarily going to be adding a background to these images, since it's just on this parchment, I still want to use that sort of effect. There we go. Get this all filled in. Okay. So there, that's filled in. Right like that. Great. And then we'll just do a silvery, or maybe just a brown. Yeah. That is fine. For the actual necklace. I don't know why coloring in the lines is taking 99% of my brain power right now. But then I'm remembering that I have not had dinner yet. And then I go, oh, that explains everything. Silly me. Okay. So we've got that filled in. Now, we're going to start adding in some of the kind of glass-like shapes. And this is going to be with a very, very light color here. Not quite white, but almost. And what I'm looking for, we're going to start with this colored pencil brush to kind of give a softer effect along the edges that is kind of the light shining through to the other side, right? So we'll start with that. I'll fix the rope later. And it's going to be a little bit softer on the other side. Okay. And it's going to kind of pull in wherever you see... wherever you see that. Okay, there we go. And then at the tops, we want to actually bring this back a little bit, like that. Like this, yeah. My hope is that I can fake this effect a little bit. That's what painting's about. You're tricking the eye into believing that this is an actual shape. Okay. Okay. And then... we need to blur some of this right in the center, like this. Kind of blend that together a little bit. Okay, we're already getting a little bit of that effect. I like it, I like it. But we need to push it. We need to push it a little further here. So we're going to take that light color again. And we're going to make this look a little sharper. I think probably just the real G pen here. And what we're looking for is to bring out some lines, some actual shapes here. Okay. And this particular brush has a little bit of texture to it, but not a lot, which is fine. The pieces tend to have, it looks like, a lighter bottom part as well. Let me see if I can get... Yeah, so it's kind of like that. And on the other side as well, it's a little bit, the lines tend to be a little bit thinner. Because they're reflecting, right? Each of these lines is kind of reflecting not only the inner shape, but the things that are around it and things like that. So now, let's go back to that colored pencil here, because I want to add more of this along, especially the bottom, to kind of mimic what we have going on here. Yeah, see that? And up at the top, it's a lot darker because there's less to reflect, fewer shapes. But at the bottom, there's an inner part to these shapes, kind of where the glass was blown, perhaps. So I kind of want to mimic that a little bit. So if we do kind of like this. And then we can bring this down to a slightly darker gray. And we just follow that same... Oh, not quite that dark. That same line. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really fudging this. I've never colored anything that's glass before. This is a new experience to me. I've done a lot of firsts in this stream. First bow, first glass pawn piece. All sorts of stuff. But you can't be afraid of these sorts of things. You can't be afraid of just giving it your best shot sometimes. And I think we're gonna be able to get the effect across. Especially if we use a little bit of this blend tool here. Yeah. We're gonna blend some of these colors together to really make it look like we're seeing through, especially these parts here. Less so on the lines on the outside, but definitely these parts here. There we go. Doing really well. Glass is a hard material to get right. Yeah, that's looking great so far. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I feel like it needs a little bit more... we're going to do the colored pencil for this one. We're just going to kind of bring in some of this this dark gray into the center here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were missing. Just that center part. We can even go back with some of the darker color. Especially in... like here. And here. Yeah. Just back and forth. This kind of painting is all about the back and forth. Now, what I would love to do as a final touch is to add a crack. A little crack going right across the ball. I would say take the parchment color and add that to the darker part to make it seem... Yeah, that's a good idea. And I think I will do exactly that. So, first we're going to add a little crack right across the top. Just like that. And then we can go in with some of the darker to make it look like the crack is really deep. And then just a little bit more there. Yep. That's what I want. Okay. So then we'll take a little bit of the parchment color and we're going to take a soft airbrush and see if we can't get something going here. If we... Now, I could also just reduce the... No, that's not going to work. I could reduce the opacity of the darker color. Oh, that's not going to work either. Okay, never mind. I cannot do either of those things. But what I can do is come to like the center of this and bring in a little bit of the parchment color like that. And I think that shows that there's, you know, there's a little bit of something see-through. Okay. Just clean up some of the color that came up through this way. Whoops. Like this. And then add just a little bit of make it look like this is a woven band just by adding some quick slash lines across, quick half hatch, cross hatch, whatever you want to call them. That are nice and curved, following kind of the weave there. Nothing fancy. Okay. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out right there. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. All things considered, I'm pretty happy about how that turned out. Okay. So let's go through. Let me save this one. Ooh. Posture check, hydration check, all that good stuff. But let's save this one as the unbroken pawn. And then what we're going to do is open up the items that we have here. And we're going to go back over through what we just made. So the first one is that we did was the bold cap. Like I said before, all these will be posted to my Twitter account. But the first one we did was the bold cap, a common item, contains 1d4 unreplenishable charges of the heroism spell. And when the last charge is spent, the horns fall off. So bold, you know, I tried to make it look as bold as possible. Big old horns coming off the side of it. And the heroism spell gives you a variety of bonuses, including temporary HP and some things like that. The next one we made was the glacial dagger. This one I really like. It has its basic dagger It itself does not do cold damage, but anytime you deal cold damage, the amount of cold damage dealt is increased by plus 1d8, which I think is pretty clever. So it itself does not do cold damage, so you have to have another source of cold damage to really get the effect of the Glacial Dagger. And that's a rare one. Then we did the Cap of the Fortune Teller. This one, I think, out of design-wise, I think it could be a little bit stronger, but it gets the message across. Every time you're hit by a creature, you glimpse a random image of its future or past. That could be something as much as, oh, it's stabbing you in the gut in a couple seconds from now, or it could be an image of it, eating a pie, 5 years ago. You don't know, and that I think is a clever thing. We did the Scale Mail of the Night with some nice purple and dark browns and blues. Real basic. The bearer gains a +1 bonus to Dexterity Stealth checks. I think that's pretty straightforward. Simple mimic, scale pattern. I didn't go all out on that, but I wanted to make sure that we could get it done quickly. We did the Short Bow of the Weave, and this one is the most complex. Whenever the bearer casts a spell of 1st level or higher, this weapon gains charges equal to the spell's level. So if you cast a 2nd level spell, it gains 2 charges. If you cast a 4th level spell, it gains 4 charges, etc. This weapon can hold a maximum of 7 charges, so if you cast 2 6th level spells, it's not going to get 12 charges, it's just going to get 7. The bearer can use a bonus action to remove all of the charges, so you clear it out. When they do so, the next time the bearer hits with this weapon, not when they attack, but when an arrow actually hits with this weapon, add plus 2d4 force damage to that attack. Pretty straightforward. We could fiddle around with the wording on some of this, but it's fine to leave it to the DM's interpretation on some of this stuff. So nice gem effect. I wanted the flowing magic to show it's got a full charge. The string of the bow has been filled with some of that charge, and the arrow is as soon as you load an arrow up, it's ready to attack with that extra bonus. And the last one we did is the Unbroken Pawn, a little necklace that it looks like this pawn could break at any second. It's made out of glass. But the bearer gains a +1 bonus to Constitution saving throws. A real simple effect there. So Constitution saving throws, it's not a +1 bonus to your Constitution overall, but this sort of thing could help you, survive a poison or take alcohol a little bit better, or survive a hazardous condition of some other type. Really basic. Some of these are simpler than others, and that's fine. Some of them are a little bit more complex, and that's great. Having different options that a DM can play with and that players can play with, depending on how emotionally attached they are, I think is really cool. But I'm really proud of all of these different magical weapons that we made. So, like I said, all these will be posted on my Twitter account. I'm going to go ahead and add, my signature to some of these, or all of them, rather. And I will be posting the website that I got the inspiration from for all of these in the description and the comments below. So be sure to check that out after the stream. If this is already after the stream, then it should be down there, unless I forgot and did something goofy. And let me know if you guys use any of these items or weapons in your campaigns. Let me know. I would love to hear it. If you're a DM that's looking forward to using some of these, give some plot ideas for how to use some of these different items. I think that would be really, really cool. Especially to kind of encourage creativity of other people. I think they'd be really, really neat. But I just want to thank everyone for watching. My next stream is going to be a return to my Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge. We're going to be tackling the second gym on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Thursday, we'll be heading back into my Survival Hardcraft world. I'm sorry, not Survival Hardcraft world. My Survival Hard Mode Minecraft world. And that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Where we'll be building some horse stables, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. I have some ideas in mind, and we're going to incorporate a little bit of that into my den, and I have some other progress that I am eager to show you. Thank you again for joining me, Arrow, for your very valuable insight as well. Sacred Ratchet and Swift James, thank you for your input, and Obsidian Bubble and Cherry Axolotl, thank you guys for being here, and everyone else that I might have missed. I appreciate it a lot. Having the company really makes these streams worth it. And let me know if you guys use these in your campaign, or if you use a different modification of them or whatever. But farewell, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon.